Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the messenger, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion. That is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to demand you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 376 One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, April 29th, 2025. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I will be host once again in this wonderful weekly series of workshops. Once again, we have the pleasure of being joined with members and support members of the Universal Council who will be presenting today's show. And let me get that prepared here. And we can begin. Here we go. And I believe we have either Mark or Dean to do our intro today.
How about both of us? Thank you, Rick.
Here you go.
As we know, we welcome you all, and we're all here in a way to introduce a new science, a new ethos, and a new language on this planet. And that includes a new type of space travel, a new energy production system, a new wellness system, and a new feeding system. And all these systems and more are offered in the Keshe Foundation store. And as we heard in the intro, is the elevation of the soul to serve become the key and not a throne in the physical life. So we welcome your presence and sharing your energies with us as we create a new paradigm on planet Earth. And that is the elevation of all energies, or elevation of all souls, where we serve and elevate one another rather than killing and destroying and taking. So today we'll direct our energies or our wishes to establish peace in a variety of ways. Not only the wish will be employed to manifest the change, but systems like what will be shown on May 10th, 11th, and 12th in Beijing. Over a 72-hour period, you're going to see, in a way, first time revealed worldwide to the public, some of these new systems for creating materials, and there'll be some other things, I'm sure, as well, perhaps a few surprises. And of course, in today's program, we'll have the wishes, we'll have the elevation of the world leaders and religious leaders. We'll have an invitation for you to join us as the Universal Council members. We're going to cover one of the commandments. We'll be reviewing that. There'll be a period for question and answers that we'll review with Marie and Claudia. And then, of course, we'll be sharing the knowledge and understanding of the 587th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. Again, very, very deep. I think we'll be looking at some of the more recent posts by Mr. Keshe and X, which are phenomenal. Then, of course, we'll review some of the store products, which we're all very fascinated with. And again, they're being delivered, but they're also being developed at the same time. And then, of course, we'll cover the needs and wishes of your community. And of course, we're here to serve and not to be served. And you're welcome to join us. Dean, would you like to say more, please?
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for a beautiful introduction, and welcome everybody to this One Planet, One Nation, One Race. This beautiful, as many people have said, energy that is of universal, a universal strength. And you are all welcome to be present and to experience this energy transfer, this elevation of the soul of the man. And we're all knowledge seekers. We're all part of this. And it has always been an honor to be part of the foundation, to be part of the Universal Council, to be invited to actually represent a spoken language. And as we know, there are many languages on planet Earth, and they all have their own certain field strength, cultural conditions that are very present with whichever part of the world you are present within. You all receive a slightly different energy transfer, a slightly different field energy of elements, depending upon where you are placed, where you are residing in physicality. And I suppose that the field interactions of the soul through the experiences that you gather will also determine your condition and how you sense certain field strengths that are present with us. I think Mark summed up the totality of what the foundation is doing presently. We all know Mr. Keshe has got something very important coming up for humanity, for all the knowledge seekers. And as I said, we are all knowledge seekers. We are humanity and we are all the souls created. We're all part of this process. This beautiful planet that we are present within is part of a much larger system. And our viewpoint sometimes can be very narrow focused. And we need to allow ourselves to view the field strength of emotions in a 360. Imagine being, opening yourself up in a total sphere, in a circle, 360-degree circle around yourself. So we don't just view everything we do through just our eyes in one direction, a very small window of a spectrum of energies. Open yourself up, allow your very being, your very thoughts to expand. We all know the soul of the man is unlimited. And once you really start to tap into this with the knowledge that's being shared and receive the elevation of your soul, then I think you'll understand that all the matter state materials start to become less dense, and the elevation becomes a very beautiful, soft, gentle transition through the various stages of our very existence on planet Earth. So thank you all for being present, and we welcome you, and I'm sure we will have a beautiful show and presentation lined up for you all. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Dean.
Yes. Thank
Go
you.
ahead, Sweta.
Thank you, yes. Thank you, beautiful soul. The wishes, knowing all the ways, beautiful wishes, and the wishes are from the core of the heart and soul of all souls in existence. We, the Universal Council, give through our soul to elevate the soul of humanity to be more and more in peace in this transformation timeline.
We, the Universal Council, create conditions to create perfect magnetic field strength to achieve permanent peace in all universe and unicos.
We, the Universal Council, create conditions to take away the habit of killing and wars from the amino acid of the man.
We, the Universal Council, give from our souls to elevate the souls of all Universal Council members.
We, the Universal Council, create the energies through the soul of the Council that the scientific community and observers become enlightened as the Keshe plasma technology is shown in public worldwide in Beijing on the 9th through the 12th of May 2025. These are our wishes, and our wishes we command.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul to elevate to souls of to elevate souls of all leaders to be part, accept, and understanding of knowledge of the Creator as one soul. I love you, my soul. I love you, my soul. I love you, my soul. This is our love for our soul. Self as a creator. I live with you. I love with. I am in love with you. I live with you and I love with you. And I adore you. So join the soul of man with the soul of physicality by speaking these words in this moment. See what the soul will give back to you. So, thank you. Welcome to this soulful connection. Love of the soul. Love of the self as a creator. Thank you. Rick, now can we move to the next presentation? Soul connection. As it was a great forgetting that we were separate from eons, but now we know that we were never separated. This is the oneness of all souls, that we are always in connection. Now we understand that and trust the bridge of connection. So, my dear beautiful soul, we are always connected, just to trust this connection. And in this elevation we are doing, this is the beauty that it becomes all, even in the cosmos, we all become equal. We all become one. So, one universe, one universal soul. So, the soul connection, beautiful soul, reminds us of what we are, the purpose, the mission. I will say soul mission, our loving soul's mission. So, in India, we say, when we focus on breathing, we say taking prana. Prana means life, and we will breathe in a way, focusing on the breathing. As when we breathe in, we breathe the structure of life from the universe, and in this structure, all that is existence of universal unified field, love, light, abundance, protection, and all, and structuring it our in all, even in a cell, and of course from the micro to the macro, and it is possible. And when we breathe out all those energies, transforming them. We don't need anymore into pure white light. So taking in the structure of life, the beauty and totality, breathing out in all the way from inside to unleash kind of, to be, to dissolve the matter and transform the energies we don't need in pure white light again towards the source. So I will start, and this, please breathe in, focusing only on the breathing. The intention is to take the universal light, the structure of light from within to the within, and the matters we don't need anymore, the energy has to transform into pure white light again, back to the source. So, and the breathing began, and the connection began, the prana began, living within, living for all, and begins now. It will be for 3 minutes, my dear beautiful soul. Breathe in and breathe out the light. Thank you. And the connection starts for 3 minutes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my beautiful soul, for being here always present, heart and soul filled with love, peace, and light for all that is in existence. Welcome. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste.
Good afternoon. It's Mehran, the universal supporter of Farsi language. And
Rick, I think,
universal support.
excuse me, Myrna, I think we need to change the screen.
Okay.
No, I think I read it wrong. Okay. Sorry.
All right.
I'll change it to whatever you like. Okay, thanks.
I'm still universal support, universal council support. Oh, that's nice, universal support. So, so I am here with, I wrote a little bit just now. I'm here with the gratitude to be in this place and time and position, to be part of creation of condition of peace, giving from our souls to help humanity to stop killings and sufferings. Humanity deserves better as we are made, as the image of the Creator. That's where we are coming from and where we return to. Of course, as all materials are doomed to have a time limit, so the soul parts then and liberated and flies all around in liberty, clear vision, clear senses, immense capacities. There, what have been the results of his period on the earth? Did we treasure our given soul, or did we steal from it? How powerful is the strength of the soul? So as we give, we receive more. We connect in soul level with others to visualize peace and feel the urgency of achieving peace and justice as our survival is dependent on. And we connect our souls together so that it becomes like a laser force towards a point. And we let go, we open our hearts, we respire, like Shweta said, inspire and expire profoundly in silence, doing nothing, and we connect ourselves together and wish for peace on earth, and using technology of Keshe for food, for traveling, for energy, for medicine, and everything humanity needs. We're just a walk away from this ideal, but humanity deserves it. So we go to work and give from our souls. We connect our souls together. Thank you very much.
Next, we have the commandments, normally with Joseph, but I don't see him attending right now. Shall we skip it, or would somebody else like to comment on the, what is it, the 9th commandment? You shall not covet your neighbor's house, wife, or property.
Yeah. So, why we think that in the past civilization, where the maturity of man was very limited, comparing to now, people needed structures for living in society together so that they would become happier and more prosperity. So for people, they had to have laws which provides survival for them. And one of those is number 10, you shall not covet your neighbor's house, wife, or property, that we don't steal from the person close to us, not the material things, not the people around them, nor what they own. And this respect of others' belonging is a necessary ingredient for a community or a city or a group to survive, because everybody has looks at what the others have and they fight for it and they kill and they do that, and there is no justice, there is no well-being. So it's important not to steal. And we know now that if we steal from our souls. Yep, that's what I could say.
And of
Thank you,
course,
Mehran. Okay, thank you.
as we've heard in the teachings, the wealth is within us, not belonging to us. And this is where every man makes a mistake. And if we can understand that, I think this commandment can be fulfilled. But the commandments haven't really worked out so well. And I think there's other systems being employed to bring this to fulfillment, all of the commandments. We know there's 24, but I think the fulfillment of these commandments will actually be brought through systems and will become more perfective, and that killing within our structure will be sort of pulled out with this black hole creation of what's been mentioned in the recent workshop. So thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mehran. Mark, you are so true that I will say that you shall not covet your neighbor's house, wife, or property, as it is also accordingly to the commandment. The uh, real truth about it is that this inner wealth, inner knowledge, deep, talking about why, so deep. So the neighbor is all around you. You are the neighbor of somebody, and somebody is your neighbor, the condition around. Like, I will set an example. If I say, uh, in Keshe Foundation, many knowledge seekers has they stole, copied, and put their name, like deep knowledge has given, and they stole it, kind of that, and uh, put it in that way that it is you know, their way of doing that, and this is not um, universal. This is not lawful in a way in the soul realm, and this is stealing, and deep stealing that they shouldn't have done, and this is what, and this creates an imbalance, emotional imbalance in the system or the body or the condition, and we should remember that all thing is our neighbor. We are a neighbor, they are a neighbor. So uh, I have this example of our Keshe Foundation. the true knowledge has given, like, like loved everybody like children, wife, property, kind of, you are mine kind of thing. And so it's free for everybody. They haven't understood that. Nothing was free here, but this knowledge has given freedom to all. And then they stole it. So they shouldn't be doing that. Anyway, no more. So this is also interpretation of the commandment, you shall not covet your neighbor's house, wife, or property. Kind of, these things are very emotionally attached, very deep emotionally attached with a being, with a condition, with an organization, anything. So this is to say that, to understand that this is the information, this is the message, that you shouldn't steal. You shouldn't steal and put your name on it, like I have done this, and it will not work anyway because you are not the creator of it. So thank you, my dear beautiful souls. This is the true meaning of this commandment, beautiful commandment indeed. Thank you to Shriman, my Mataya Shriman Mehran, a lovely soul. I'm Shashwat Pranam. Thank you. We can move. Anybody else wants to add? Please do, and welcome.
Thank you, Sweta. It's Dean here. I would like to say a couple of words on this commandment. So, this commandment, like many of the commandments, was given to the man. When you receive on the soul level, you feel it within inside yourself, which is right and which is wrong. You know when you steal from yourself by stealing from another. You know that from a very small to a very big has an energy transfer, has a condition that depletes the energy from one to another. And you can only receive this energy according to the ethos of the Foundation and the Universal Council, and the knowledge seekers, and all the beautiful souls that have come to know this, that you cannot take energy unless it is freely given. So if it's a neighbor, you take let's say some, whatever it is, some energy, some matter state food from their garden, and you eat it and you receive the energy of it. But the seed of intention has created a condition where it will not be good for you. You've created an intention of energy, the seed, that will not benefit, that at that moment, that very moment that you decide that interaction, you have to balance for it. And this happens continuously throughout creation. So when we decide as a soul, we gain some momentum in the physical form. We become powerful, so say. That we command many souls in physicality. And then we command them to do something, to take. That has a very big influence on the soul of the family that you represent, the soul within inside your structure. It means that you will balance for it. And we must understand that this structure of the man is a coat, is a jacket for a number of years. The soul is eternal, and the energy transfer is forever. So if you create a condition where that energy is taken from you to pay back, then that's going to last a long time. And remember that outside of planet Earth, there is no time. It's instant communication. And the soul of the creator that is part of you understands this process. And it's been explained many times as a position of decay, of a transfer of energy in the wrong way. So understand the beauty within inside yourself, give unconditionally and receive. And then all the souls will give back to you for as long as you need in the physical form, but certainly as an energy transfer, the universal flow will be present with you as you develop your field strength and gather more and more field strength and expand out across the unicos. Thank you all. Thank you, Sweta.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much.
I've noticed that I didn't play one video of the Universal Council invitation to be part of the Universal Council. So let me play that now. It's only a couple of minutes.
There's something which I should have made announcement. As we are structuring and in a new development of the Keshe Foundation is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60 and they served during the 60 years they are there till 61. They to run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of any languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally, and we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply for to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. That was from excerpt was from the 576 Knowledge Seekers Workshop back in February 6th. Okay, next we have the Q&A with the Universal Council with Marie and Claudia. And this is the fourth question from their discussion of Saturday, April 5th. And we start at about 1 hour and a half into their discussions. Let me get that ready here. Okay, now we'll begin.
Question. In the Bible, it is recorded that the 27th day of the second month, Noah released the dove and it brought back a stick. It proved that there was a solid ground. It was a watershed in civilization, a new beginning prepared by the Creator. In today's teaching, the 579, we can also consider it to be a watershed for civilization, which until then had been centered on materialism.
Então, agora vamos para a quarta pergunta. Na Bíblia está registrado que no 27º dia do segundo mês, Noé soltou a pomba e ela trouxe um graveto. Provou haver terra firme. Foi divisor de águas civilizatório. Um novo começo preparado pelo Criador. No ensinamento de hoje, que ele se refere ao 579, também poderemos considerar ser um divisor de água para a civilização até então centrada no materialismo?
And then we have the first answer. When we ignore knowledge, those who possess it establish their truth as absolute. But having the knowledge of truth, we learn or relearn because all knowledge is within us, something new that allows us to redirect our daily lives. As we are beings who lives in communities and are always connected to the common universal source, we extend that knowledge to others. Thus, those who already had that knowledge, the humans who built the churches, distanced us from it. We are taught how religions manipulated the emotion of need, of weakness, of lack of knowledge of the self as creator and about the creator in order to be abused. They created all kinds of lies for this purpose. It's time to end religions and reclaim the emotion, the knowledge of being one with the creator through the ethics of correct behavior and share it.
Então, quando ignoramos o conhecimento, aqueles que o possuem estabelecem sua verdade como absoluta. Ao ter o conhecimento da verdade, aprendemos ou reaprendemos, porque todo conhecimento está dentro de nós, algo novo que nos permite redirecionar nossas vidas diárias. Como somos seres que vivem em comunidade e estamos sempre conectados à fonte universal comum, estendemos esse conhecimento a outros. Assim, aqueles que tinham esse conhecimento, os humanos que construíram as igrejas, nos distanciaram dele. Nos é ensinado como as religiões manipulam a emoção da necessidade, da fraqueza, da falta de conhecimento, do eu como criador e sobre o criador para abusar. Eles criaram todo tipo de mentiras para esse propósito. É hora de acabar com as religiões e reivindicar a emoção, o conhecimento de ser um com o Criador, através da ética do comportamento correto e compartilhá-lo.
There's another answer. According to Mr. Keshe, 2025 is the year of change as prophesied in the holy books. After a big event or conflict, the peace will rise like a phoenix.
Outra resposta é, de acordo com o Sr. Keshe, 2025 é o ano da mudança, conforme profetizado nos livros sagrados. Após um evento maior ou conflito, a paz surgirá como uma fênix.
There is another answer. I didn't understand the question. For me, every teaching is knowledge that has brought new beginnings for humanity.
Outra resposta é: eu não entendi a pergunta. Para mim, todo ensinamento é um conhecimento que trouxe novos começos para a humanidade.
And there is another answer. Yes, the impact of the knowledge as we start to live it collectively will become a tsunami of change for humanity. Spread the knowledge as much as possible. Earth energy rises. Souls are opening up to the knowledge, and in time we will reach the level of change. Be grateful to the part of it. Be grateful to be here on Earth at this moment of historical change. Don't forget to say thank you to the Creator in creation and enjoy life. Soul's essential energy is eternal. Enjoy every possible experience you can. If it finishes, we start again, a new cycle to gain more knowledge and new experiences to finally find the enlightenment in the oneness of souls. We love you.
Sim, o impacto do conhecimento, à medida que começamos a vivê-lo coletivamente, se tornará um tsunami de mudança para a humanidade. Disse-me o conhecimento máximo, dissemine o conhecimento o máximo possível. A energia da Terra está subindo, as almas estão se abrindo para o conhecimento, e com o tempo alcançaremos o nível da mudança. Sejam gratos por fazerem parte disso. Sejam gratos por estarem aqui na Terra nesse momento de mudança histórica. Não se esqueça de agradecer ao Criador na criação e aproveitem a vida. A energia essencial das almas é eterna. Aproveitem cada experiência possível que puderem. Se acabar, começamos novamente um novo ciclo para ganhar mais conhecimento e novas experiências, para finalmente encontrar a iluminação na unidade das almas. Nós amamos vocês.
So that was the answers from the Universal Council. Thank everyone who contributed. Thank you.
And this being the last program from Claudia Marie in this series, we give thanks to them for their efforts as well, and to the Brazilian community for putting on these programs.
Yes, thank you to my dear Claudia so much, and Mary, my dear, for putting all the questions and answers from the Universal Council members. Thank you so much.
And I have in my program here that the Universal Council is continuing to invite the community to ask questions, and they'll give weekly answers. Is that correct?
Yes, my dear, it is correct, because they can ask questions all the time. They can ask questions here. We can and put the questions in Telegram so that we can answer it as soon as possible. Like the answer, we are all learning, my dear beautiful souls, but we can give away in a way as answers. So please put your questions always in the Telegram, in chat, in Facebook, wherever you feel comfortable. Thank you so much. You're so welcome.
All right. Back to our program, and Next, we have the knowledge and understanding from the last 587th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And that's usually with Stefania. If she is.
Yes, Rick. Yeah. Are you broadcasting from Mars or you planet Earth? because you were part of the last transmutation test.
Yes. I'm still on Earth. Still got feet.
You're not in the cloud yet?
I've got one foot in the cloud. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I wish you all the best, Rick. So then you can teach us. Because good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. I'm Stefania, and I'm representative the Italian language for the Universal Council member. And I'm going to present today the 587. And I just said that for who doesn't know, because Rick Ramon is one of the 7 first pilots to be trained, and for the new transmutation system. And then there will be other 7 and other 7 adding to this training. So Rick Ramon has been chosen to be part of this team, and so he will be our future teacher. He will teach us how to drive our system. So that's why I said good luck, Rick. Yeah, so I wish you the best, and I can't wait to learn from you. So the workshop of last week was again mind-blowing. So really, I highly recommend you, if you didn't listen to this workshop yet, make a time to go in and listen to it. You have to have enough time to re-listen many times. So I will try to clarify a few points or summarize a few points, and then I got a few questions as well. I'm going to put on the table for everyone to think, or everyone to, if they want to answer later on. Because this workshop, it's very, very important. It connects with the one of last week, where we were talking about emotion, fields of emotion, everything's going motion, and the emotion, it's somehow is a tool for us to controlling the fields. And in this workshop, Mr. Keshe goes really into explaining even deeper how space-time, how we can create a space-time and position. And he said it in many examples, in a different ways and a different combination. So you will notice when you listen to this workshop, they literally he say the same things over and over, but with different name, in a different way, in a different order. And so I try to myself as well to put all this together. So for example, as we know, he separated the first part, very, very important. All workshop is very important, because after the pause, he will talk about more specifically about the transmutation session and what they're going to do, actually what they did last Monday. And then he's going to talk about because now the Keshe Foundation is ready to show to the world the potential of the technology to the governments, so and the whole world. So there are a seminar coming up, the 10, 11, 12, where everyone is invited, or all around the world, to be present, where he will show the practical of the theory. I will try to summarize now. And also in this workshop, you can see at the end of the first part that he will show you the machine, the system, they actually are doing what he explained in the first part. And then he will talk a little bit about politics and how the foundation is very wise on get advantage the situation, so the troubles there are between America and China. He taking advantage of presenting solution for the nations to overcome every problems and going to the next step and start a new cycle. You will love this workshop. So to go back to the first part, as usual, if you remember last week, the week before, he started with yin and yang, and he compares that there is always yin and yang, and you compare the yin and yang with gravitational and magnetical. So, and he started to say that everything has got every plasma has got a magnetical and gravitational fields. But this is very important to know because this will take us to also understand further how the gravitational, how we can achieve the magnetic field strength. He talked a lot about the magnetic field strength, how important they are. He explained what they are, and he said the differences between a magnetical, for example, he go into this fantastic draw where he drew the Earth, and as we know, we got the fields going in and fields going out, and he said that the scientists they didn't see or ignore or they don't consider a very important part, that if humankind really understand the magnetic fields strength of equal magnetic fields, I don't know if I said it properly, actually, maybe I can say it. So the magnetic field strength of two fields, they are kind of equal. And when he make the example of the Earth and the fields coming in and going out from the north to the south, he said that the scientists didn't they didn't see or notice the fact that you got the same fields going in and coming out, and then go back in again. And the second time they go back in, they become stronger. And this changing of field strength, then creating this motion at the middle of in the side of the plasma, and this motion then that is given by the totality of the fields of differences between the magnetical and gravitational, it gives the magnetic field strength. And the magnetic field strength, it's very important to know because he said, for example, in the matter state, we got the matter, we can create it any material, and in the matter state, the matter is tangible, and it's got a point of view or point of observation. But in the energy world, we don't have the tangibility, but we have the magnetic field strength. So it's really important to know the magnetic field strength, because from there you can determine the mass, and you can determine the oh, I'm ready. Sorry, I prepared this properly, but so he said first. Sorry, I go back one step. He said that the energy and the energy state, when we talk about magnetic field strength, we talk about the fields they are accommodated, or they are accommodation of, or packages of, or totality of. And then you go into the fact that the magnetic field strength they always have we need to learn a different spectrum of there are different spectrum of strengths that we need to learn. So if in the matter state you can we have different elements like copper, iron, and they're tangible. In the energy states we go magnetic field strength spectrum, and each spectrum it correspond, for example, to one spectrum correspond to copper, one spectrum correspond to iron. And this is very important to know, because if you know how, if you know which spectrum make the copper, it means that if you can replicate that spectrum of magnetic field strength, then you can materialize copper. No, so this is very important. And so this workshop, it really explains into how we can materialize any material and by knowing this magnetic field strength. And also he said that the magnetic field strength are when they are equal, they are connected to each other. So we make example of atom, that the atom, the fundamental particle is the hydrogen, and the hydrogen is equal as magnetic field strength of the soul of the man, and the soul of the man is connected not just to the hydrogen, but connected to it's not the same as the field strength of the hydrogen, but it's the same field strength of the creator. So the same field strength, they all are connected. So when you find one field strength, you're connected to all field strength. So you're connected to the hydrogen, you're connected to the soul of the man, you're connected to the creator, and that it's one line. It's one line of you can see as a road. That is one road, one magnetic field strength. So that's why it's very important, this workshop, because Mr. Keshe really gone into how we can replicate voluntarily any field strengths that we wanted to. So he make a draw where he make you understand how it's important to replicate the field strength, consider the volume, consider the speed, and consider the connection as well. So there are a lot to learn from this workshop. Then is going to do different example, different situation. One example I really liked was the one of the star formation, where he started to saying that every magnetic fields is got magnetic and gravitational, like we said at the beginning, but also every magnetic fields is got equal opposite fields, and they are it's like a twin system. So and the distance, so the distance between the magnetical and the gravitational is done by the totality of the two, and the differences of the totality of the two will give the magnetic field strength differences. That is also the magnetic field strength of that of the give that gap. And then these magnetic and these gravitational fields, they have a pair, matching pair, trinity system. That it's the distance, the gap distance will be decided by the differences of the two field of magnetic and gravitational of the two fields. And it's very important to also understand the gap, the functionality of the gap, because he said if we are getting good at it, we can also decide the space gap we want. And the space gap will determine the type of magnetic field strength. So we can then add in fields and taking off fields. We can then make one field become more magnetical or more gravitational, and this will decide the flow and we decided the speed, and we decided the direction of the flow. So this is very important for space travel. If you want to transmute and go into A to B, that's why he said to, he really, I really love at this point when he laughed about the common science that going to space by repulsion, by using fuel. When he said, if you understand how the magnetic fields work and how this this space gap, you can actually control it, you can decide if you come to Earth or if being repelled by the fields. So you don't need any fuel. You just can be repelled, because you will turn the fields more into magnetical, and therefore will push you away from the Earth. So it's like if you jump in a line that goes outwards, or you can jump in a line that take you into Earth. It's very, very interesting, this workshop. I really love it. And then he's going to make a different parallel example about like the star formation that we know about it. And he talked again about in the star formation we have 3 points, and these 3 points, he said the distance gap here has no matter, because the gap has been of these points is being worked out by the totality of the interaction of the whole fields, of the all 3 fields together. And the totality of this interaction will give the position of the controlling field. And then the controlling fields will decide the position of the principal fields, the singularity of the fields. So, and here it's again, it's very interesting, because from here you can understand that once you know how to replicate the magnetic field strength, and once you know how to play with the space gap, you also will be able to decide the controlling field. They actually make the mass, and the mass, you cannot change the mass, but you can change. So you got the mass, and you got you're going to make the same 3 things, like so. Sorry, maybe I confuse you too much, but the 3 dots of the star formation that we know, they're like the base, that you don't care about their position, but their interaction will decide the controlling fields. Okay, this you can he will compare. This is what I understood, and you have to tell me if you understood the same. They are like the weights of the system, and then those ones will also, with their interaction and their totality, we then you can get the controlling fields, and their controlling fields, they actually they are the one that we call it like the mass. And then the singularity of the fields is the soul who been created, is the singular soul that we call him singularity of the fields. I don't know if I confuse you in any way. I must have confused you, but don't worry about it. you will be able to read more. But this is all important, because then you understand that there is a way to control the fields, and there is a way to decide, therefore, in case of materialized material, decide which material you want to create, no? And because you can choose now the magnetic field strength. The magnetic field strength is connected to a material, but also we know the magnetic field strength is connected to a emotion. So this, it will give us freedom that we can replicate by replicating emotion. We also can replicate the magnetic field strength that we need to decide which road to take. That then will make us decide as well be in control where we want to go. So for example, if I want to go to the moon, I can choose the field strength of the moon. And if I can replicate that, because everything in the universe we're connected to, because we all have the same fundamental particle and we come all from the same things. So I can replicate the field strength of the moon. And if I can replicate the field strength of the moon, means I can go in that road that will take me straight away to the moon. I don't know if I anyway confuse you more. And he make a lot of comparison that we actually done this many times before. That's why you dream about your mother. That maybe your mother is passed away. The reason why you dream about your mother and your mother knows everything about what you've been doing is because, first of all, you are always connected to your field strength, same field strength. So the same, the word doesn't come to my head, but the same field strength. So for example, as I told you before, the soul of the man and the androgen and the creator, there are the same field strength. They have the same layers of fields, no more and no less. So that's why we are all connected. That's why your mom knows what you've been up to. And that's why you can connect to your mom, because this connection is everlasting. And you can also replicate this connection. So you can go to see your mom every time you want. So I think I confuse you quite enough because, but the good things about it is that at the end of the workshop, the first part, he show you the machine and he show you the fact that he been replicating all the gases, so he can replicate it all the gases, and then he also will show in this congress all the material he's been be able to replicate. And yes, so obviously we should, he also said that, you know, the material and the gases are still, you know, the crumble of the cake. The real things is when we really become master of replicator magnetic field strength and emotion. And then if we get really good at it, because everything in the universe has got connected, we are connected with anything in the universe, with the motion and through the motion and through the magnetic field strength, then we can really do whatever we want. So I think I hope I didn't confuse you. So I had a few questions. So let's see if I can. So one of the questions was if you listen to the workshop. So how do we get the repel? How we can get repel from Earth if we want to travel from Earth to space? And then because he also said that to replicate the magnetic field strength, he said to you, just worry about the gravitational fields. Don't worry about the magnetic fields. But I think this is my understanding. If you want to replicate matter, if you want to replicate matter states. But from my understanding, but maybe I'm wrong, and you can make your things. If you want to be repelled from Earth and go and travel to space, you need to jump into the magnetic fields. So the space gap between the magnetic and gravitational have to become predominant magnetical to get the flow to take us out. Yeah, so and then I had another question, but I don't know if I can find. And then I can pass the. Yeah. And then I make another question: is the gap between the gravitational and magnetic fields define the rotation of the fields and the speed of the fields. So this is just a few questions I take out. So I finished. I hope to not have confused you a lot. I'm sure I missed lots of stuff, but please go to listen to this workshop, because you then will learn how to, you will have a better understanding how to travel, how to duplicate any material you want, and yeah. So I don't know if anyone wants to add anything to it. I don't know, Mark or Maranas, on anyone who maybe noticed if I missed something out. Okay, thank you.
Well, we do have 3 excerpts from the workshop to play, so I'm sure that that will clarify some questions.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. No problem.
Thank you, Stefania.
Okay, we'll phase out our background music and move into playing an excerpt from the 587th Knowledge Seekers Workshop, our last workshop from Thursday. And this is about the equilibrium at the magnetic and gravitational fields. Let me just get that set up here at 2836. Okay, that should be set there now. Make sure I'm sharing properly. And this is about a 5-minute excerpt.
This knowledge of the magnetic field, when even we look at a magnetic field in the dimension of the space, time, and position, we have to always consider, let me put this in a way that you don't get confused. Every magnetic field traveling the span of the universe possesses a twin system of gravitational to it in respect to the position. The space gap position is the space gap position between the two entities. If the balance between the two is calculated in a direct line, you will know what is a space gap is. You can predetermine. And then in the totality of the knowledge in the future, when man becomes wise to more knowledge of the space of the plasma, working of the plasma, man will find something very interesting. And that is, I have to correct my mistake. And that is that this one. That now the space gap between the average of this one and this one dictates the position in respect to each other, and position that it moves one in respect to another. This knowledge of understanding each magnetic field has equal and opposite magnetic field, gravitational to it, then we take man to the next step of the knowledge of the universe. You know this as knowledge seekers very well. You've seen it, you have played it, maybe you never understood it. When we played the star formation, the magnetic gravitational field gap between these is irrelevant, because in totality, how they interact with each other decide the position of the controlling field. And in the interaction of these with themselves dictates the position, dimension of the whole entity as a whole. We call this singularity of, we call this the mass of, we call this the weight of. And once we understand this, once we understand the process of the interaction of the field in gravitational and magnetical of the same field strength, man will open a new chapter in the world of science and technology of the creation.
Okay, that's our first excerpt. And we have another one following that, starting at 3732. And this one looks to be about 6 or 7 minutes long. And this is on created material. So let's listen in. Again, from the 587th Knowledge Seekers Workshop from last April 24th. Just bear with me a minute. I have a stubborn video that doesn't want to play. Well, looks like I'll have to restart it. Bear with me a minute. Okay, resharing. We'll give it a try again.
Materials which change in the world of science and technology, cosmic rays, understanding of the new technology which allows us to create materials which we could not imagine even exist. We have to rewrite the tables, because this material, we don't know what it is, we have to find its value. In the past few days, in the laboratories of the Keshe Foundation, we have developed a material. We ourselves puzzled, wondered what this material is. And we are producing it in mass. We are
creating it in mass. It's very easy because now we have to find magnetic field, the strength of this material. Known, it's unknown material to us. We have to find its gravitational magnetic field, and is growing like mushroom. Does any of you know what this is? Because we have developed a new material. And look, it's falling off the sky. What is this material? Do we have the knowledge? Do we know what it is? Is it a chalk? Is it candy? Is it nano of a material manifested itself in this condition? And as you can see on our tables, it's a lot of it. But the funny thing is, this thing is created near the latest flight system, which is developed by the Keshe Foundation. Our system creates a specific gravitational magnetic field with the interaction of the plasma of the planet, creates a new material. I know what it is because there are certain characteristics. As we know, you see the dust on the table. There's a little fly there on the table. You can see everything else, and you can see the size in comparison. As the gravitational field of the system has led to the demise of this animal. To what extent the system is creating its dimension. We don't have chemistry labs in the universe, but we have understanding of the magnetic field of the universe, which we can make in chemistry. Is understanding the science of creation, not by imagination, but by reality of understanding the totality of it. Is this the future of the man entering an atmosphere, dying because he doesn't understand? It did not comprehend, it did not create the field of, or like the other animals we have in our oceans and our environment, adopt, become, we have. And what do we say to them? The most funniest thing that the biologists tell us, this animal is from ancient time. No, this animal doesn't belong to this planet. That's why you call it ancient time, because you never understood this animal has adapted itself to life on this planet. That's why you cannot find the background to it. It has jumped in, has managed to find magnetic fields of the planet, the environment of this planet, that can connect to its soul, that the soul allows the physicality to live in the shape and the form of a matter state in the plasma condition of the entity of this life. Aliens are not just those who land here in the aircrafts or in a UFO. Aliens were by field strength passing through as a body of the entity of life on this planet become a stone. This is what man has to understand. This is what should not be the future of man in space.
what is and how is, and to what extent do we understand the knowledge of creation depends on how we understand the interaction of the fields of the universe. Why this matter is taking shape. It didn't fall off the sky, this shape. It started like one of these dusts. And life in the womb of the mother has managed to gather enough that it's made this shape. When I made these materials for the first time, nearly 2 decades ago, I wondered, how do I respect them? I didn't throw them out. They're still carried in a box somewhere in our laboratories. Alive, 20 years old, sitting in the box. One of the first things we did when we set up the new flight system, we put papers around. What are we creating? When you look at the new flight system set up for flight, which will be shown sooner or later, is my habit. I can't hold secrets, or in a way keep a lot of things out of it, but I keep a lot of secrets from it because man is not ready for it. We have developed the technology. We have developed the technology, which means a working system which can create food, energy, gas, motion, emotion, water, and everything else. We have created the planet Earth. When you sit in the panel, in front of the panel, you see the weight of it, you see the gases it produces, you see the energy, voltage, you see everything, the magnetic field strength. It shakes, we know.
Okay, I went a little bit over on that one, but I think it was worth it. And we have a third excerpt from 587th from 1 hour and 25 seconds. Okay, and this is regarding a system to the process of the creation of all life.
We have created a system in our lab. This is what you saw, this material, which works with this. We can adjust the magnetical to gravitational, where the magnetical goes this way and we create a gravitational within the other way. There is no rotating material in it. And if I want to jump from calcium to, let's say, iron, I know what to add to this center field. We divide the system that interferes with this and makes it to copper. When we show you the system, when, luckily, I don't know if when we're going to show you the system, you will see one machine with different element, nitrogen, whatever. On our control panel of our system, we dictate what we produce. So now we got to the position that we dictate what materials, what gases, whatever we want to produce. I'm short of oxygen in the system. Passengers from the Earth are going to die. I just adjust the system. Oxygen is increased. We mastered the dimension of production of rare earth materials, which you don't get Now we master the structure of the gaseous. When you see the panel, you understand exactly what. Those of you who came to London, when in our solo meeting, you saw on the top on the panel, there were scales of change of weight. Now we do the same thing, the same system with change in the dimension. We can decide it to lift, to land. The system, while it's leading or landing or going, it produces materials we need. You've seen the other material I showed you, the white one. Somebody wrote this is a choke. If this is a choke, you'll choke on it because you haven't understood yet. The advancement in technology is that we have reached a position that one system can do exactly what planet Earth does. Even position itself in respect to the Creator. Now you understand how scientific we are. We are not what we call bunch of fallacies and promises. We are scientific. We are structured scientific. We work scientific, and the knowledge of the man under the banner of the Keshe Foundation, under the banner of the research and development of the understanding the work of the universe, has reached a position that can produce the materials of the universe at will. And we know how we can bring this possible, how the technology has developed to the extent that we do not need to jump into something else. We just need to understand the position of, the understanding of what we create, how we create, the way we create, and what we want to create. This is the understanding of the work of the universe. This is understanding how systems are set to produce what they want to produce, what we want to produce, the way we want to produce, and in the dimension and the direction we want to produce. In the process of understanding this work of the plasma of the field, you decide by the strength of your own dimension what to produce, how to produce. It's not anymore this and that. We have within the structure of the knowledge and technology, understanding of how to create these things. It hasn't been easy and never fell off the sky. We had to understand every step of it. We had to understand how to process it. We had to understand while I'm producing this gas, while I'm producing in this material, why I'm in that position, what's going to happen with me. There we are. Now you can see. 35th of war, 18th of war, 25. We produce this gas, oxygen and a CO2. We flip, you can see, 556, 665. And then we can control the nitrogen, the hydrogen, the helium, the CO2, and everything else, which is on another page of this control. Then, if you're clever, you realize one thing from this. We have the oxygen. We have the hydrogen. You see CO2 and CO. We can produce carbon in our system. And something very funny, the only thing that is left is look at the bottom. On the second page of the system, you can see the other part of this system, which I show you now is very simple. I'm going to go out and add to it and come back, and then you understand how advanced we are. This is a one screen. Because we can't fit in all the materials in, we have the second screen. They're from two different but reads. Nitrogen 81. You have the nitrogen, you have the oxygen, you have the hydrogen, and you have a carbon. We have the knowledge to create protein. We have the knowledge to create life on this planet, on the condition of this planet. We have become the creator or controller of creating life. Do you want me to create the amino acid of your liver or your soul? Scientifically, we are not rabbis, bunch of crooks, and one of them died last Sunday called the Pope. Understanding this, understanding the control, and by adjusting our system, we can produce anything we like.
Okay, that completes our last excerpt from the 587th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And just get back to my presentation.
Thank you, Rick. It was very good because there was a piece that I didn't mention, so you could see in much more details. For example, the element that he showed at the beginning, I remember I also talk about Saturn and the rings of Saturn. So I wonder which material is the one that he shows us in the screen. But yes, we can replicate any material, even the one that are not here on Earth. But every material in the universe. And then it was very interesting also the other videos, the gap. So the gap is very important. From the gap, you can decide a lot of things, and these controlling fields. So we can actually control, absolute control on what we want to create. So this is very brilliant. Thank you, Rick. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Dean.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Stefania. I'd just like to add something because I've just been reading the transcript from the 587th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And there's, as always with me, there's one part that seems to, I've just come to, and I'd just like to read part of it, if that's okay. So it goes, this is the future of man in space. An only thing which will stop man to become a passenger of the universe is his own ego, his own lack of understanding, and denying the truth about his own creation. The most beautiful thing for me, if you understand it, is this shape. How you see different sizes appear, different shapes appear, and how this will look in the orbit of the element. Understanding the totality of the process, understanding of what you create in what direction. If you understand this process, if you understand this creation of material in this shape, and we create an environmental condition, then you see how the rings of Saturn are created, how meteorites and asteroids are created in the environment of the body of the planet. We call them asteroids, we call them meteorites. What about the ones which travel between the galaxies? What about those which become matter state between the universes? We call them universoids, or we call them cosmoids. At the end, we have to understand what they are, because one of these little things enters the energy inside your brain, you're done. You go from a cat to a mouse, because the energy of the inside has changed. Dynamic structure of the magnetic field, dynamic structure of the interaction of the magnetic field, dynamic structure of the outcome of their interactions, it always leads to creation of new material, new dimensions. It's you who have to understand. It's you who has to go into the depth of understanding which field in my body, in my soul, in the strength of the plasma, the field of me, will connect with which one of these stones and which one of these materials can I create. So thank you, Stefania, as usual, for your wonderful understanding of Mr. Keshe's teachings. And when you read some of the transcripts and you listen to some of the excerpts that Rick has been playing, we start to build a bigger picture of how elements and materials interact with each other, caused and creating matter state interactions. So it's the same in the body of the man, how we create conditions through the emotion, creating matter state conditions that affect us. Our bodies are just like planets. And so we have to be emotionally balanced to understand how we create in the atmosphere of the condition of the sphere of planet Earth and beyond. And for me, this was a beautiful understanding for our present day knowledge of space travel. If we were to go in these physical forms, then the knowledge of the spaceman would need to understand the implications of entering these universal conditions of the atmospheres in other planets. And by learning the process in our own bodies, perhaps we can understand more. So I think it was a beautiful teaching. Thank you all. Thank you, Rick. Thank you for listening.
All right. Thank you, Dean. Next the next thing to have a look at here is a post from the X platform from Mr. Keshe. And I think I'll put this in the chat as well so others can access it. And let me see, I have to share it properly. So this is in response to Elon Musk, who posted this moving image, and it's from Rui Hong, and I'm not sure the relevance of it. It's like a space picture, basically. And Mr. Keshe's response, I'll read Mr. Keshe's response here, or his reply rather, what they call reply in the X platform. He says, Mr. Musk, you do not need to look at AI generated scenes like this anymore. If you can accept that most of the past space technologies, which we all have been involved with, were and are based on the matter state. Then to conquer space in real terms and truly colonize it, as is your dream, one needs to work and use the tools which the universe has at its disposal, and not the Chinese fireworks of past decades as you are using in your rocket technology. For this technology to be achievable, one needs to understand the way cosmic rays in space interact and make gravity, magnetic fields, or atmosphere, materials, and so forth. We have achieved and developed a breakthrough technology which can achieve all these and only uses the interaction of cosmic rays upon each other to create motion, communication system, materials, and so further. With this technology, one can even use the plasma of cosmic rays to create and play with time, space, and position. So one can now develop technologies which allows one to see the real dimensions of the universe. Today at 2 p.m. CET, this system for the first time in its basic form is to be tested with 7 participants from around the world. This system, plus other systems, including production of materials as it takes place in space but at atmospheric condition, will be shown publicly between the 10th and 12th of May in Beijing, China. The announcement for this venue will be made in social media for the world to see and be part of. We are inviting the world governments and scientists to this public display of new area in space technology and bring an end to the fallacy of the Big Bang theory with this demonstration in real-time production of gold and other materials in front of their eyes in 72 hours continuous display of materials being produced in public. Your team is welcome to take the materials produced for laboratory testing as the Chinese military generals did to confirm the production of 32 elements in 2023 in China using cosmic rays technology. The future of space technology with traveling the span of the universe using cosmic rays and their interaction is upon us. At the same time, in the same presentation, new communication systems, which brings an end to the use of satellites for connecting to any point in the universe with 0 time delay, using cosmic rays technology will be on display for these systems to be tested by public and world scientists. Mr. Musk, you are invited with your SpaceX team to join us for the testing and seeing the opening of the new area in space technology. Cosmic ray technology is the breakthrough in space travel and colonization of space in its true form, where one creates the condition of Earth at any point in space, and one does not need to wear a spacesuit to enjoy the space. Earth to Mars is your dream, will be a minute job from now on. We are showing this technology openly for the first time in public in thanking and welcome the new area after cooperation with the Chinese military and officials for different aspects of its applications, to prove its correctness and to thank them for their support in facilitating and testing our technologies in the past years. It is time that we all see what is to change the world of space and man. This technology cannot be done by one American organization under license like ours, that it needs to show its technological achievement in China. If you accept this invitation, we welcome you from May the 10th to 12th in Beijing, and we welcome the members of X social media to post the achievements and display it for you all to see. With this demonstration, we change the world of space technology for it to think and work and develop new systems using cosmic rays of the universe rather than the present fuel tanks of the Chinese fireworks of the past centuries. So that came out April 28th, yesterday. It's already got over 14,500 views from Mr. Keshe's reply. The original post itself has 44 million views. So it's a good way for Mr. Keshe to expose the plans for the plasma technology through responses to Elon Musk on his actual website. It's seen by a lot of people and will get seen by him when they're noticed, and you can, at the end of Mr. Keshe's reply, you can click on the heart, which I did, to like or to like the reply. And the more people that do that, then the more chances that Elon Musk or others will notice it and reply.
Thank you, Rick. It's Dean here again. I'd just like to say that it's this platform, social media. They, as we know, they're used to communicate in the physical form between the souls present on planet Earth, using technologies that have been developed over a space gap, over a time schedule. And for me, it's a wonderful thing where the platforms, the initiation, the seed of the platform was used and designed for a specific program. And through the intentions, the wishes, and the direct beauty of the knowledge, the the real essence of creation is shining through, is being shown and distributed, on a level that is a matter state condition, but is directly now starting to trickle through to the mainstream application of social medias for the populace, the humanity, as we say. And it's wonderful how when you start connecting, the intention of the creation point, which cannot be stopped. You cannot hold it back. You can block it for a little while, like anything, but the sheer mass volume of the knowledge and the interaction of creation that we're part of cannot be stopped. So there comes a position on these platforms where it's an acceptance to allow and for it to grow and for humanity to receive the gift that is present and has been present for quite some time. And thank you for that beautiful reading, Rick. It was wonderful to hear that, and I look forward to your what you've got to say about your experience that you've just been through. And we all look forward to hearing where you traveled to and how you experienced your spaceship and your captain of the ship experience. Thank you, Rick. Thank you for your beauty.
Yeah, we have to wait for the further results, as it's not just a one-shot deal, but more of a continuing process, you could say. And there'll be a debriefing sometime later, and then we'll be more able to respond and actually comment about the experience. Not to keep you hanging, but I'm going to have to keep you hanging.
What's wonderful, Rick, is the fact that that you can go where you wish. So this is the beauty of it, that the wish, the intention would always be, I know from you and all the knowledge seekers and all the people that are receiving this knowledge, they would always do the correct thing. So you can create a condition of beauty and balance, and we know the soul is unlimited. So this means that there's no borders, there's no way to to stop this interaction because it's free of the matter state. It's a plasmatic condition, and then there's no limitation. And all the implications of this, when we think of the Universal Council wishes and intentions, and can freely move between the gaps and create the energy flow where it's needed. And this makes us start to understand the power and the beauty of this knowledge, that you can manifest and create as you wish. And I know you will wish for very beautiful things. Thank you, Rick. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, maybe we can move along to, speaking of transmutation, perhaps we can move along to Mashfek and Dean and Shweta, or Dean and Shweta. Please go ahead, Mashfek.
Okay, once again, we are doing transmutation, but it's a lot is going on these days with Rick being one of the 7 captains, and so as Dean was saying, we are eagerly waiting for these things, the results, because some of the outcomes. This is something very interesting. So let's look at these from some of the advice or indication that Mr. Keshe was giving in the Knowledge Seekers workshop. So as you may have heard, there were materials that were sent to the 7 captains, and Mr. Keshe talked a little bit about how these are used. And in a way, he has talked about some of its use quite far back in our teaching. So let's look at it from something we may be able to do or we can do. So one of the things that we have tried doing, like bringing our hands together and creating light between our hands. Some of us have tried it with different level of success. But yeah, people did try, and there are results. And if we go back to go back into the teaching of Mr. Keshe, he also talked about something like, use your palm to create 2 different fields. Make one hand hot and make the other hand cold. So this is something we can practically do. You can just place your, you can even test it as we speak right now. Place your 2 hands on, let's say, your legs somewhere, not touching it, but a little far away from it, and see whether you can create this heat and cold. One hand warmer, one hand colder. So we are creating 2 different fields in our palms, in our 2 hands. And so in a way, we are creating different fields. So the creation of light, a ball of light between our hands, is in a way this process being taken a little further. So in the discussion that where Mr. Keshe was pointing out that there will be items that needs to be placed under the 2 hands, standing and spreading one's arm to the sides, And similarly, 2 will be placed under the feet, 2 feet. Now, if you think about it, we are creating essentially similar surfaces. Our palms and the bottom of our feet, they're very similar in structure. And we can also do this experiment of creating 2 different fields at the bottom of our feet. And, it's similar to doing it with our hands, same thing. Now think about it. These 4 items are to be placed at the bottom of our feet and our palm. Now, and they're supposed to create different fields, because in the end, together with the field that we generate from our soul around our head, these 5 fields in combination creates a vortex. And if we are able to create different fields in this location, can we move towards this creation of vortex around us? We don't have to transmute even, just feeling of the field, that we can create different fields in different parts of our body without any device or an extra mechanism. And I know the test for the 2 palms, it's very easy for people to create this, the heat and cold. And I have done it in several of my classes, and it does work. And all of them said, yes, we can do it. So this is something we can even test now, or after my talk, presentation here, whenever it's convenient for you, you can test it. Now, think about the 5 fields, 1 on top of our head, and the 2 at the bottom of our feet. All of these together, can we create some dynamics? Dynamics in the sense that side-to-side flow. So if you think about hot and cold, so there will be a flow from the hot part to the colder part, and similarly a cold in a different way, another flow. It's always bidirectional flow, the magnetical and the gravitational. So can we feel these kind of flows? And then, so there is a field differential from left to right at the hand level as well as at the feet level. And then there is another flow that's coming from, because of the field differential, from the head to the hands and to the feet. Now, how do we create a vortex from this? This is something to feel rather than, bring out a piece of pencil and work out a formula or something like that, or do a computer simulation. This is something, we don't have to do, the lab is within us. So can we create this field and sense it ourselves? I think this is an opportunity to do experiments for all of us, isn't it? And we can start from very simple things like the temperature differential between our hands, and then move slowly. I mean, we don't have to do it all at the same time, start. But Mr. Keshe's description give us a way of conducting experiments. We can modify our experiments, add other elements, but that's up to all of us, once we start to get a grip on how things are going. So we can start from very simple and then develop further. Yes, additional assistance, such as the material that has been sent to our 7 captains, definitely would help. But in the end, we have to be self-sufficient. So why not start with simple things? So I invite everybody to do these experiments. Perhaps we will, talk about it and play with such ideas tomorrow in the plasma reactor group meeting. And with Rick's additional understanding, we may go somewhere. So with that, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mosfeq. It's Dean again here. Mosfeq, may I ask you a question then? So, emotion. Do you think this would be an interaction that caused heat or cold?
Yes, emotion is generating this heat and cold. You love to have that emotion, that feeling of heat here, or you desire to have it. It's we have to, and then then go into what happens after that. So it's all the desire to sense. So we are activating our sensor, in a sense, our sensor array. If I want to kind of like use the traditional science terms and like our emotion together, our sensor array with our, field generator arrays. We are using both. So essentially magnetical and gravitational. We are sending out stuff and also receiving stuff. And emotion is an integral part of it. Emotion and intention, both. We have to direct the fields. It's not like, Mr. Keshe has talked about this in our previous workshops, is that, people go to the enhancement unit and they don't know what to do because they don't have any idea of where to proceed unless there is a intention and a feeling to go with it. It doesn't go anywhere. So that's the basic idea. So it's not that complicated in my mind. And thing is that generally we get distracted rather easily because we're not used to kind of like directing ourselves this way. That's how I have been feeling about, or my results suggest that. Okay, go ahead.
Mosfeq, so the reason I asked this question is because at the weekend I was present with some beautiful souls, and there was a few people, and one in particular that had some emotion that caused an interaction, and this emotion had been held onto for far too long, and it created a condition within the structure, and by giving from the soul and giving some knowledge, it helped to either create a heat or a cold, an interaction that was either larger or smaller, becoming humble and giving, that helped to release the emotion. And then this emotion was overwhelming, and it sort of like it was like an emotional eruption of joy and happiness to finally come to understand the beauty within. And so, would that interaction, as I said, would that be, this interaction of a rubbing together of the fields, that light, that heat and cold? Can you explain that a bit more?
Yeah, well, what you just described is actually a very interesting. I mean, people carry emotion, and pent up emotion, and that manifests as disease. And this is we are well aware of this. And I actually have patients that come to me, and so sometimes you have to talk to them to kind of like pinpoint what part of life and the set of events that triggered such emotions. And generally, when these people can identify this kind of emotion, and they are and you can see that they have a you can feel the realization. This is again, it's a kind of receiving a gravitational field from them. In such instances, I have had what you would otherwise call miraculous result, kind of like psoriasis type of situation gone in within a couple of days and things like that. But they have to they have to, once they can see that this is happening, I can connect with them and I can transfer energy. And then once that happens, the outcome is very quick and positive. And this is not, I'm not talking about just one instance here. Several cases of this has happened with me. But of course, this individual, by having this, developing this, we have to develop the emotional connection so there is a trust. And once this trust develops, this transmission can be easy. But, not very many people are like that, especially those who are educated in the Western sciences or arts. My best results have been with people who are uneducated, and there are plenty of people like that here because of the poverty and the situation that we have in this condition. So the humility has to be there. Otherwise, it's I don't usually do this, only in cases where I can make this deep emotional connection with the person and they themselves have realized some of their emotions, and then I can engage through the emotional relationship and their recognition of their own emotion, and then we can proceed from there. So there has to be a starting point, otherwise it doesn't happen. So it's not, we are more getting used to this idea, but it is possible, and the results are really, what we call miraculous. I often talk about this in classes. There is no miracle. It's all science of plasma science, really. And where the individual that's being treated and the person that's engaged in the healing process are the fields that are operating together to solve the situation. It cannot be one way. It is in my mind, it's impossible to do it one way. The receiver has to engage. And so, the things that I'm talking about with our hands are the same thing, but here we are kind of like splitting individual emotions into 2 parts or 5 parts, depends, and then we operate this way. It's the same idea, really, but we have to have the trust that we can do these field separation and field flow dynamics. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you, Mosfet. Yeah, that's beautiful. It's funny how I had an interaction, and I was away for the weekend, and there was, at one point, there was this very famous creature, a bird, that but it's very rare. You don't, very few people see it, and it was in this location I was at, and we actually physically saw this bird. Whether this is related, I don't know. But this is the contact of the souls and how it works. And then when the transmutation was taking place with the beautiful 7 souls, I at that time went on a walk with some dogs, some creatures, some souls. And as I turned up onto the top of the path, this very bird was present again, but in a female form, on the path. And I've never seen this bird before. And I stood there with the dogs, just looking at this bird, thinking, wow, this is just, it's a typical soul interaction. And then the bird was there for quite some time. And then I needed to walk down that path, with the dog. So at some point I had to say, right, okay. And the bird just looked at me and then flapped his wings. And it's quite a big bird. And it just flew off into the distance. And it's that interaction, that connection with the souls and the manifestation we can create when we focus. and we create. It's yeah, and the beauty just unfolds before us. It's a wonderful thing. So yeah, thank you, MOSFET, for healing us, for helping us, and for giving us the the emotional balance that we need, that heat or the cold or that combination of the gases that we create, because Mr. Keshe said we are intelligent gas. And that is yeah, that's a beautiful understanding.
But nice to have a sort of strange but amusing and fun point of view. It creates an emotion of a different kind, really.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, thank you, MOSFET. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rick. I don't know if Shweta, if anybody else would like to say
Thank
something.
you.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you, my dear Dean. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mushfiq, my dear. Yes, the question is how to trust. Are you trusting your timeless true self? The key is what we understand and what we see depends mainly on what we look for, search for. And this is the key. Are you trusting? Are you trusting the timeless true self you are in the universal unified field, the universal love, or and churning the truth out of the initiation you have, the inertia, the complexity became, are you churning out the truth, understanding that more and more, and understanding that everything is compressed form of structure of life, and you can understand how you need the energy or you don't need the energy anymore, like this. And we call this kind of understanding the detachment we have to do from the initiation we have been through all the ages. So this is a form of transmutation with trust, with an intention of love, peace, and enlightenment, my dear one. And if you do that, all the souls all over will understand. This is the key. As we are one, always. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening, my dear beautiful souls. Thank you so much. Now we can move to the next presentation, my dear Rick.
Oops, wait a minute. Here we go. Yes, we have an excerpt from the 586 Knowledge Seekers Workshop about cosmic rays and products. It's a testimony from Gerhard. Just let me get that set up here. And it starts at 2 hours, 43 minutes. Okay. It'll be about a 5-minute excerpt this time around. Here we go.
With the cosmic ray material, which gets dispatched, you get a certificate. And on this certificate, it states that the weight of the material is as the time of production, which means when we seal it, this material weighted 1 gram. And as you take it into different condition and position and whatever, it is, let me see if I can't see it. I have to check. It's a very nice piece of card which gives you the registration of the product and the number. Each ball is numbered, photographed, pictured, and weighed at the point of production, and it can vary according to where you put it, how you put it. You can gain more, but don't break trying to access to it, because sooner or later you have nothing left. because it interacts. When we produce materials, if you produce 100 grams, sometimes if they leave it, it becomes 80 grams because it's a live, active, interactive system. And each ball has a number. And lucky enough or unlucky enough or good enough, I carry number 1. The first one produced carries a code of 1, and it's been given to me as a gift. And it has its own certificate. And all the things are promoted in different ways with this. It's let me do something and I show you, because I came to see this. I see other images which can explain, because we can even add cosmic rays to what they call this range of it changes the whole environment of the what we call what you live in. But with this we can hold to a lot of it, or we try. Many of you've seen the recording in progress. Many of you have seen the what we call resin products of the Keshe Foundation, which was put out a few weeks ago, and this is like this. When we add cosmic ray to these coasters or whatever, or for the cup, it brings a dimension. You put 4 of these around the house with cosmic ray in it. It's extremely expensive, but you see the change. For example, these are the soap holders. These wants to carry the cosmic ray material inside it, that it changes. You feel the soap. If it's really, for example, you bought the soaps from the foundation which carries a specific combination, then you feel the energy every time you take it. And these are what you call the coasters. If you put it between the 2 glasses and you change the composition of the water carrying, you need 4 grams or 6 grams of cosmic ray to go in this combination, and that's €6,000. And some knowledge seekers do this. The way knowledge seekers ask for what we call it, cosmic ray materials to be embedded in the system, and we've seen the results with Gerhard. These are the products which now we are testing, and it's in there for many of you. These are made per order because we get orders and they're made. And you can see what it does. It's not just a normal thing you put your soap in it. If you ask for it, you ask for happiness, for joy or balance, the soap products, and then you bought the soaps which you bought and see which one goes with what. Because the energy stays with you. It's a fat you wash your hand with, it absorbs into your body directly. Just let me do something. I tell you what if I get it.
All right, and that's our excerpt from the 586 Knowledge Seekers Workshop from last April 17th. Okay, let's progress on here.
Thank you, my dear Rick. Beautiful. So colorful. Um, we in the childhood, even now, we see the rainbow. You know, all the colors, all the cosmic colors, beautiful, beautiful. The gift to humanity. Indeed. Thank you, thank you. Now we can go to the next presentation material. Needs and wishes from all beautiful souls. And here is the this is from the wish, of course, from the community. We, the Universal Council, wish that democracy is restored in Romania.
We, the Universal Council, wish for the end of war between Russia and Ukraine.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of our brothers and sisters of India and Pakistan for peace and enlightenment now. Thank you so much, beautiful souls, for always being present in the wishes, the connection of the soul. And no more
Shweta,
fault witnessing. Yes, yes.
There's a couple more, Shweta.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
We, the Universal Council, elevate every soul in Australia in peace and prosperity.
We, the Universal Council, give from our souls to the soul of creators of art in the Middle East, that they take the Keshe energy and space technology as a solution.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear Rick. We are here to serve, not to be served, beautiful souls. Welcome, 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 welcome. Swagatam to the beautiful, beautiful energy, beauty and totality of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome to the universal love. Welcome to the love of all souls in existence. Welcome. So join, follow, and love. Come home to Keshe Foundation. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute.
Okay,
Say again. I'm sorry. Say
Go.
again. Thank you so much, beautiful souls, because the change of time, the time of change is started, and we are the soul of the peace. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, my dear.
Okay, just bear with me a second here while I find my background picture. There we go. Good. All right. Well, thank you, Swatan. Again, thanks to all the members of the Universal Council and support members for the work they do in the background and for the presentations that they put together for these weekly meetings. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mark, for co-hosting once again. And that's it for our 376 One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. Our next public teaching workshop is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, and that will be Wednesday, April 30th, starting at the 7 a.m. Central European Summer Time. And we usually go for several hours of interacting with ideas and technologies regarding the plasma technology. And we look forward to the changes that are underway with the Keshe Foundation and Mr. Keshe and all of his experiments. And we look forward to discussing your experiments as well. It's a good avenue for showing the world what you're doing or having any questions regarding the plasma technology. All right, and again, on Thursday, we have another Knowledge Seekers workshop coming up, and that will be starting at the usual 9 a.m. Central European Summertime. We look forward to what Mr. Keshe has to offer then. All right, I guess that's it, right?
Now,
Okay.
looking forward for some dance and clap.
Yes. Some tension
Clap,
and
clap and dance.
relax into the
Enjoy.
flight spaceship unit. Okay,
Thank
well,
you. Thank you so much.
again, thank you everyone for being here, and see you in the next public teaching workshop. Bye for now.